What's up, everyone, and welcome to another video.
My name is Lachlan Renfro. I'm 19 years old, and I'm here at CU Boulder.
He's one of my residents this year. It's my third year being an RA, if you didn't know that. And today, we're going to crush a monster fucking workout. So, this workout that we're doing comes from Elliot Holz's channel. You actually had the idea to do it together.
Yeah.
So what actually are we doing?
So today we're going to do something called a metabolic surge workout, and in this workout, it's going to involve a bunch of heavy, large compound lifts, and then sprinting in between each set. So it's basically going pretty much as heavy as we can for those reps, which is going to be a fairly low rep workout, but then sprinting in between so we get no rest at all. That's the idea here. Except actually, I messed up on this. The sprinting, we're actually going to be doing running up 3 flights of stairs and then coming back down because there isn't a track handy at our gym.
Yeah, so we're just kind of doing whatever cardio we can in between. The reason that Elliot likes this is because there's bodybuilding in it, there's power lifting in it, there's high intensity intervals in it. What are the actual workouts that we're going to do?
So we're going to start off with power cleaning, right? 3 sets of 3. They're going to move on to incline bench press, or you can do flat, whichever you really want to do, with barbell, 3x6, and then rows 3x6 with a barbell again, front squat 2x5, and deadlift 2x5. The weight I'm going to be using for that is 175, and you're using...
135.
Nice.
Yeah, so Lachlan's way stronger than I am. And as you know, I've been doing a ton of yoga lately, and I haven't really been lifting in a while. I broke my collarbone back in October. So I haven't done any of these movements really since probably like September.
It's been a bit.
But I'm really excited for this.
Oh, fuck yeah, me too. The cool thing about it is that neither of us have this in our wheelhouse. His emphasis, he's been doing a lot of yoga recently, as he said. For me, I do a lot of power building. So, which for me, that'll involve a lot of strength training, but I take a lot of rest in between that. So for me to have a lot of muscular stamina, we'll see how I do in this. It'll be really interesting to see. So.
Yeah, I think it's going to be cool. So I do a couple things to warm up. If you watch my yoga videos, you know I use these TheraBands, these green and yellow TheraBands, to warm up my shoulder blades and other things. And what other kind of warm-up stuff are you thinking we're going to do?
It's pretty much dynamic stuff is what I'm going to be doing. So I'm going to be hopping around. That's a big one, pretty much just on my feet, on my legs, trying to get the tendons and ligaments all warmed up, and the muscles, obviously. That's a big one. Core activation, do a couple of planks, doing a couple of vacuums, just warming that up, trying to get the transverse... Fuck, I always mess that one up.
Yeah, transverse abdominis.
That one, right? Okay. And then also we're going to be warming up, or at least I certainly will be, on the actual individual exercises. So that I go into it and I have the mind-muscle connection all set up and going. One other point is, you can see I'm wearing a lot of clothes and wearing a lot of layers. The idea is, as the warm-up progresses, I take off the layers, so then by the time I'm ready for the workout, I'll be in just shorts and a tank. That's the idea. Keep as much heat as I possibly can on the body.
That's a really good way to avoid injury, right?
Yeah, exactly. That's the idea here. You're
cool.
Doing something crazy out of the box, you got to warm up extra long because you don't want to fuck it up.
Definitely.
Yeah.
All right, I'm excited to see how this goes. So,
awesome.
You wanted to talk about expectations. So, what do you want to get out of this?
I think that honestly the biggest part of this will actually be the mental training. I think that we're going to be exhausted at the end of this. I think that even for me, once I get to the squats and deadlifts, it's not even going to be about muscular strength at that point. It's going to be like how tough we are mentally. So that's what I'm really excited to try with this. I think I'm going to fucking die on it if I'm being completely honest. But we'll get through it. So that's the goal here. That's what I'm looking for.
Yeah, man. I'm kind of in the same boat. I want to see where I'm at on a lot of these things. I feel like I really have no idea. There's a wide range. I could be totally gassed and at one point just be doing singles to finish this thing.
Yeah.
Or I could do it really well and be stronger than I think I am. Because I've been doing a lot of exercises, just not these exercises.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, I think also your yoga training is intense enough at some times that it works cardio a lot more and muscular endurance a lot more.
Yeah, that's true.
Than mine does. So again, it'll be interesting to see how even though he doesn't do those weightlifting exercises, his muscles and his heart is still used to doing that. Whereas for me, I throw in a couple supersets here and there at the end of workouts, but that's about it. The rest of it's just as heavy as I can go. So, yeah.
And this is not quite head to head, but it's kind of head to head.
Yeah, it's not officially head to head, but it's head to head. Let's just spade a spade. It's head to head. You know.
I'm stoked for this.
Yeah, fuck yeah, dude. Looking
forward
right. To it.
Well, cool. Let's get into it.
All right.
You done?
All right, so we did it.
We did. It's done. Nail in the coffin.
How was that for you?
Yeah, it was good. It was an interesting workout. There was actually some aspects that were easier and some aspects that were actually harder than I thought. This is an interesting kind of workout. First I've ever done of that type. So yeah, what did you get out of it?
Yeah, I was really happy that my form felt good on a lot of those exercises.
True, yeah.
There were some I was kind of bummed about. Like I'm not bummed, but there's definitely room for improvement.
Oh, 100%. I think on the whole set, because like let's be really clear, that the focus of that set is not by any means form. The form kind of goes out the window after the first couple of sets. The goal of that is to beat the crap out of yourself and just keep pushing on no matter what. That's the goal of it.
Yeah.
You know?
So, what exercises do you feel like were the easiest or the hardest?
I think the cleans were really friggin' easy for me relatively. And same thing with the rows.
It was hilarious to watch you do the cleans, dude. Like,
yeah. So I don't know. That one wasn't too bad at all. The cleans relatively were pretty easy, and then the rows, which unfortunately didn't make the cut in the video, kind of bummed about that.
the really camera just kind of stopped working. Sorry about the malfunction.
Yeah.
Just in case you were wondering, we both smoked them.
Yeah. Like,
Also, other footage that got missed was the last thing that you'll see was me failing on a bench rep. Well, I tried that one again about 15 seconds later.
Yeah.
Failed it again. And then said, fuck it, I'm going to go run.
I did the same thing,
Yeah.
though.
So then I ran and came back, did the last rep, then did the rows, and then you see the footage after that.
Yeah, so that
And
unfortunately...
what happened to you on the bench?
Basically, so the bench actually was pretty much the same thing. I actually, you'll notice in the way if you look carefully, I actually had to, the camera was off me when I did it, but after the first set of the bench, when I got my 6 reps, I actually had to, I stripped 20 pounds off because there was no fucking way I could do that. So I got back on it, and actually it was still like an enormous struggle. I still had to break it up over multiple sets and get it done. And then eventually that last set, which I had to I had to do the roll of shame and then literally shrug it back onto the freaking pins. So, and then I went and did the run and came back into the last rep. So that was that. The bench was definitely the hardest one. I think the deadlift was you're really tired at that point. It's more just you're kind of blurry eyed and you just can't see what the fuck's happening.
Yeah.
But it wasn't too hard. But definitely the bench was by far the hardest for me.
Yeah, I feel like we could add weight on the deadlift at the just have a 10-pound plate on each side, sitting there.
True.
That we could just slap on the bar right before we hit it.
I agree. I think honestly, for me too, the cleans I could do the same thing on. The cleans, I mean seriously, in the footage, there's almost no legs there. I literally, once it's a deadlift, I extend through the hips and just shrug it up for the rest of it. That's effectively what it was. So for me, I think an improvement definitely could be made on shifting around some of that weight because the bench was too hard, the rows and the cleans were too easy, squats were about right, and the deadlift was a little bit easy. But yeah. So
do you feel like you pushed yourself though?
Oh yeah, because what's funny is especially every time you touch the weight, you're like, oh okay, I know this. You feel good to go, but then every time you get on the steps, you're like, fuck, I'm dead. Every time, it was so bad.
Mm-hmm. So for me, it was a little bit different. Kind of like we talked about at the beginning, how I have a little bit more cardio and you have more of that actual muscular strength.
Yeah.
For me, when I got to the stairs, I was like, "Word, I can make up time on lock lift."
Really? That's what it was?
Yeah.
Fuck you, man. Okay, he fucking beat me too. Actually, I guess we should pose that question as well. Who won?
Question.
Curious to know.
Who do you think won?
Because this motherfucker cut out a bunch of it, just hopping down.
Well,
I took the stairs every time.
If I didn't do that, my loop. Okay, there's whatever. Who won? Vote below.
Yeah, really.
And a couple more things I wanted to talk about.
Yeah.
If someone else was to do this, what do you think are some important things for them to think about going into it?
What are some important things to think about on that set? I think for me, understanding, for me the squat form was important because once you're getting into that weight, I think that's definitely something that was a challenge to be able to maintain that. So I definitely caution you for that.
On that same note, sorry to interrupt you, but
no, go for it.
If you look at the video, my squat form actually looks better than I thought it did, but I don't really hit parallel or pass pro. I'm pretty close, but not quite there. And that's because I went as far as I could go before I knew that my low back was going to give. That was my threshold.
Damn, yeah. So actually my squat overall felt actually pretty strong. I was really surprised by that. I thought I'd honestly have to kind of throw the bar out a couple times and get out of it. But I think the other thing I would caution you for is definitely on the bench, being careful with that because for me, with my bench, and as you're really supposed to do it, you want to have a nice tight core, shoulders back, you have your legs planted so you have a nice power base, and then you're trying to move off of that. So it's not just the chest workout, it's everything else in combined to a smaller degree, but it's still there. So I was really exhausted going into it, and so trying to muster the energy and also remember to get those muscles to fire how they needed to go was a lot harder than I anticipated, definitely. So that's, I think, bench, and then understanding your form on the front squat. I think those are the two I'd say. How about you?
Yeah, I mean, for me, it was really important that we actually warmed up those movements themselves.
Yeah, definitely.
You did a good job of that, and I'm glad, because you actually made me warm up more than I was initially going to.
I would say you guys were like, you and Alana were like sitting there like ready to go. I was like, guys, like, they're fucking set, like, at least.
Yeah, which I was glad about, though, because then I actually did a couple. It was like I warmed up with the bar, and then I was like, word, I'm just going to put my weight on the bar.
Yeah, I know. You just like went from bar to 135. I'm like, dude, even I don't do that.
Yeah, that would have been a bad
I was
call.
going to 95 first. But yeah.
So I hit his 95. So it felt nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do the workout if you haven't done it, or if you want to. And then let us know how it goes.
100%. Thank you guys for tuning in. And by the way, this will be the first video going on my personal YouTube page. And I'm going to characterize it as the first video going underneath the general hat, if you will, of Zen Bear Athletics. So you guys are interested in that? This is where it all begins.
Great. And a couple other questions. So if you're watching this on Lachlan's channel, I'll tell you where to find my stuff. But first, if you're watching this on my channel, where do people find you? On Gram, Snap?
It's literally at Lachlan Renfro. My name's kind of funky. It's like 16 letters total. So it's LOCHLAINNRENFROW. So a lot of letters, I know, but that's where I'm at. So that's pretty much Lachlan Renfro on pretty much everything. So yeah.
Nice, dude. That's awesome.
Easiest way to go.
It's unique, and it's the same on all your accounts, which is definitely better than what I have, which is
fucking King Roger the Third, and you're just like, fuck, how do I find this guy?
Yeah, exactly.
But,
so
yeah, in any case.
So if you're looking for me on Snap, it's the Raj Mahal. That's TheRogMahal. YouTube, just search Roger Nichols, and I'll probably come up. Besides some weird 80-year-old music producer guy that's apparently way more famous than me. And then on Instagram, it's King Roger the Third.
Yeah. With
THE as the. Some people think it's an A, like I'm
really?
the third. Like no, it's just the reason I do that is because I'm actually Roger the Third, though, not just some rando.
Right. I figured that was where that came from, right?
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Thanks so much for tuning in, and thanks for crushing that fucking workout with me.
Yeah, dude.
That was sick.
Yeah, that was fucking sick. We got to do that. We're gonna try to do that Fridays and Mondays. We'll figure out a better schedule at some point, but that's the goal right now. So.
Yep, I'm excited.
Yeah. Fuck yeah! All right, thank you guys for tuning in.
Peace.
Deuces.